that regards to Kenya Ice Hockey Team yenye inapiga shughuli yake pale Panari, I think. Yeah, Panari. Welcome TV47. Welcome TV47. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Duncan Mutua, and before we move on, remember this is your show, and we want you to interact with us. We're also having the question of the day. We are asking you, team yako, there's that transfer window ilifungwa, and so we are asking you, are you happy with the transfer window? Are you happy with the signing that your team made? Are you happy with the football January transfer that your team are you happy with the football January transfer? Watu wa Arsenal, sijui kama mulifurahia, watu wa Chelsea. Na hii nini transfer mja sign. Pia watu wa Man U, sijui kama muli transfer kama ulifurahia kuona your team signings apart from the few that were brought. Jana tuliona Man United winning 2-1 against Leicester City in the FA. But are you happy with the signings? Ulikuwa unahitaji nani aletwe kwa timu yako? This being a sports extravaganza, we are going to move on and talk matters WRC Safari Rally preparation. Remember, the WRC Safari Rally will kick off from 20th to 24th of next month. And here in the studio, we have Nikhil Sachania, who is the 2014 Motorsport Personality of the Year. He made a comeback to the rally with to the rally track with a new Ford Fiesta. He will be telling us why he had to change the car. He got an accident last year, so he couldn't finish the race. But what's the plan, or what is he planning to do this? What is he planning to do this coming rally, or what's the plan for this year? Nikhil, and also the driver,
the co-driver,
the navigator.
Co-driver.
Co-driver, navigator.
No, co-driver is better. Ama tuseme makanga, whichever one.
Let me start with Nikhil. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for having us here today.
Good to see you. Kwaje? Umesema ni makanga.
No, co-driver, yeah. So
yeah, co-driver.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Nikhil, let's start. What's the plan for this year? Let's start with the plan for this.
Yeah, so obviously, as you mentioned, we have got a new rally car, the Ford Fiesta Rally 3. Last year, we were taking part in our Evo 10, which we had for a number of years. Unfortunately, we had a crash in one of the stages, really bad, rode off the car. And then obviously, as the months went by, KCB, quite generously put some money towards us in purchasing the vehicle. And yeah, we're looking forward to taking part in the WRC Rally 3 category now. So we hope to put on a show, and we see how we take it up from there.
You have been with Nikhil for some time.
Yes, I've been with.
How is it? How is it being with him?
It's an absolutely amazing feeling being in the rally car. I mean, throughout the years, we've gotten to know each other, and we've basically come to an agreement on how to write the notes. We've changed our notes multiple times, but yeah, it's an absolutely amazing feeling being just in a rally car by itself. Forget his driving style, which is sometimes when you look as a co-driver and watch what he's doing with his hands, it's absolutely incredible. It's like a video game. Literally, it's like a video game. So it's crazy where you get to feel, even without looking at the road, you get to feel what the car is doing. And that's all because of his hand control, so yeah.
All right, I understand we have a caller from Eldoret. Patrick, how are you? Hello, Patrick. Patrick from Eldoret? Amesema atarudi.
No problem.
Labda alikuwa anataka kuuliza kitu kuhusu gari. Nikhil, talk about your former car and why you had to change to another car.
Yeah, so last year in the WRC, I think was it day 2?
Day 2.
Yeah, day 2 we had a really bad roll where the car caught a rut, and on a long straight we must have rolled about seven times. I think I lost count at 3 or 4. But yeah, the car was written off. Luckily, we walked out unscathed. With all the safety equipment that's in the car. So yeah, that car is gone, which was quite unfortunate because it was a very strong car. It served us very well. I had it for about 6 years, Deep, I think 5 years he's
5
been
years,
with me.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's been a good journey with that car. But now we're looking forward to with this new car. You know, we did the Rwandan ARC last year, which we performed quite well. It was actually our first outing. We finished on the podium, so 3rd place on the ARC category, and Rally 3 was number 1. So we hope to perform just as well as we did in the previous ARC as we do in the WRC this year.
Patel, how different is this car compared to the other car? The car that you guys are using this year.
Yeah.
And
it's much more faster. It's more responsive. I mean, it's got a sequential box inside there as a gearbox versus the normal automatic gearbox what we had in the Evo 10. Braking, when Nikhil wants to brake, the braking distance is much shorter than the Evo. The Evo that was there previously, everything was stock in the car. So it was just a regular Evolution car changed to a rally car or made to a rally car. The Ford Fiesta is a purpose-built rally car, let's say that, from Poland and from M Sport. So it's a night and day difference. Yeah.
And Nikhil, preparing for the WRC Safari Rally is such a huge undertaking. What are some of the challenges that you are looking up to and you are looking to conquer them?
Yeah, so I mean, the preparations have already started. You know, we have to strip down the entire car. We need to check the differentials, the gearbox, the engine, a lot of mechanical stuff that needs to be checked thoroughly, because the Safari is a very long event. You know, we've got 4 days of extreme rough. You know, you've seen the terrain that we have. So yeah, there's a lot of checking that goes on. You know, we've done two events. One was a very tough event, which was the ARC Rwanda. So there is a lot of checks that we need to go through. You know, rebuilds for the engine, for the gearbox, for the differential. So in the coming weeks, we'll be starting to strip the entire car down and then putting it back together in preparation for the WRC.
This car, I understand this car is a bit of special. The interior is special. Would you share with us how the interior of this car looks like?
The interior of this car, I mean, it's got a roll cage inside, like every rally car. But the special thing about this car is the hand controls, which Nikhil has. So everything is on the steering wheel, from the accelerator to the brakes. Literally everything for Nikhil is on that steering wheel. So it is what makes the car very unique. And when somebody from the outside comes and sees that car, they are like, oh wow, you know, it's like, you don't see it often like that. So I believe it's the only car in Africa,
Yeah.
that's made like that. So in the whole continent, it's the only car. So it's very unique inside. Yeah.
I would want to watch to see how the inside of the car. But Nikhil, Patel, it's always praising you. How is it driving alongside him?
Oh yeah, you know.
How special is it?
Yeah, no, you know, having Deep on board, you know, for the past 5 years, it's been an amazing journey. You know, I can rely on him for, you know, in case we have a puncture, mechanically he knows. You know, he's an automotive engineer by profession, so you know, I'm in good hands if the car does break down, if I do something silly on the road. But all in all, you know, we're good friends,
Yeah.
and I think that's what makes us gel well. You know, we're always joking around, but when we're in the car, it's, you know, it's business time. So we're very serious. But you know, once we're out of the stage, you know, it's back to jokes, back to friendship. I think we have a good relationship in the car and even outside the car.
A recap of last year, you guys finished third in the Kenya National Rally Championship, right?
Yeah.
How special is this tournament? How special is this rally? How special is this championship ahead of other championship outside Kenya?
I mean, you know, the WRC Safari Rally is the world's toughest rally. So for us, there's a lot of pressure, honestly, for us as competitors or as participants in the rally. But we're there to do our best and to hold up, you know, the Kenyan flag plus also the KCB flag high inside this event. There is a lot of pressure, but it's preparation. It's mentally preparing ourselves, making sure we go through the right steps with the car, testing the car. So I believe on the 23rd of February, we'll be testing the rally car out in somewhere in Kenya. So yeah, just to make sure that everything is how we want it to be. So, yeah.
And Patel has mentioned something to do with the KCB. Recently, just a few days ago, we saw investing in you guys. Talk about KCB being part of you. KCB, how they have contributed to your journey in motorsport.
Yeah, so I think this is the fourth year or fifth year with KCB being on board with us and us being their drivers. We're very appreciative with them being on board. We've had a very good relationship with them, and with now this year they're sponsoring 4 crews with the return of Evans Kavisi and the newcomer Tanasha.
Yeah.
So it's nice. The KCB rally family is growing, and we hope we can all shine bright and bring the KCB flag, raise the KCB flag high.
Yeah.
And maybe something to do with KCB. You want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, it's we talk about friends, family, right? KCB is also our family as well. I mean, in times of need, whenever we had the crash, we went to the KCB hospitality tent, the den, and we met Mr. Paul Russo over there, right? And said, "Don't worry, we're looking at something else for you guys." And that's all he said. So it's the small things that talk volumes, let's say, right? The small things that they do for us, the small things that they help out with, right? And they've been absolutely fantastic sponsors for us. And we as drivers, and I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of everyone that KCB sponsors, we appreciate it. Yeah.
And Nikhil, you are among the few, not even a few, but you're the only paraplegic driver in Africa.
Yeah.
Does that come with a bit of pressure, or how special is it? Do you usually feel when you step in that car?
Normally when I did start rallying, it was more about just seeing what I could do, how far I could push myself. And then obviously as the years have gone, 10 years down the line, we're performing on the highest podium that we can, the WRC. We're trying to represent ourselves in Africa, on the continent of Africa, with the rally championship there. So it's more of there is a bit of pressure, but I've always kept that mentality. We're out there to have fun, and I think now the agenda is more of awareness. When we go to a new country, like I've never been to Rwanda. Last year when we went to Rwanda, we had KCB and BPR on board, and it was quite exciting for the fans there to see that someone in my condition is able to drive a high performance vehicle, to take part in such a extreme sport, I would say, and then to also have a big brand such as KCB, have such inclusivity within that sport, and to support us across the continent. So there is some pressure behind it, but it's also we're there to have fun. We're there to just to bring out awareness, and the main thing is try and win.
Patel, wewe unaenjoy tu kuwa co-driver.
Yeah.
At some point hutaki kuingia hapo.
Siku moja, God willing, we will. Nikhil also knows I enjoy driving. I had an autocross buggy, which was built, and then we broke a lot of things in it. Now we're putting it back together, so I enjoy that as well. But for me right now, being a co-driver is absolutely fantastic. It's a great exposure to have, and yeah, I'm happy. So one day, yeah, we might decide to swap.
We might swap.
We might decide to swap. We might decide to swap.
We might.
You don't want to be on the other side there.
I don't mind it. I've sat once, but I didn't want to sit again. But if Deep insists, I might swap seats. No problem.
Hakuna kukosana hapo ndani. Wewe naye.
No, tunakosana sana.
If I'm reading the notes in kosa naye, I'll just funga the book and say you jipange sasa.
Tukikosana kwa gari, sema wewe endesha gari vile unataka. Nifunga macho. No, I'm just joking. We do have our moments in the car, but as soon as we finish the stage, that's it. It's done. So yeah, we're back to normal
Factory
friends.
setting.
Yeah, factory reset. press the reset button. So yeah, it's a good thing.
All right, we're going to take a short break, but usiondoke, because we have a lot to talk about when it comes to WRC Safari Rally preparation. We have a lot to talk about here with Nikhil Sochania and Deep Patel. So usiondoke, let's take a short break, and then we will be right back after the break. Welcome back. This is TV47 Sports Extravaganza. My name is Duncan Tua. Now, before we took a break, tulikuwa tunaongelea mambo na WRC Safari Rally. Guess who we have in the studio if you're just joining us? We have Nikhil Sochania, who is the 2014 Motorsport Personality of the Year. And last year, he finished third in the Kenya National Rally Championship. Apart from Nikhil, he's co-driver Patel, co-driver Deep Patel. It's also in the building. Ameniambia naweza mwita mtu wa mwita makanga because he's the co-driver rather. He is the co-driver. We were talking about as WRC Safari Rally. Umetueleza about the new car and how special it feels to be having just gari moja yenye inapatikana in Africa. But now speaking of the WRC Safari Rally 2025, how special do you think this event is to you? Because I understand there are some of the stops, we call them stops, how special is it to you?
Yeah, I mean, for us, well, even for me, it's, Safari Rally has got such a prestigious history behind it. Over 70 years, it's been ongoing, non-stop, be it with the WRC, be it run by the local federation. So, to be part of that history, it's really something, something that that you are very proud of, and it's something that I'd always dreamed of doing, is taking part on the world platform, which is the WRC. So this year is no different than any other that we've taken part in. The only difference is that we have a World Rally Championship vehicle, which I think it'll push us a bit higher up the standings with the guys coming in from abroad, and maybe just showcase the local talent a bit more.
Even the stages, it's no difference, because someone who doesn't understand the motorsport will talk about the stages, and someone will say, wameongeza 2 stages. That's a very big difference. Or what does it mean to have different stages?
No, I mean, it's different stages, so you can't say the stage of last year is the same as this year, right?
Okay.
Because the terrain changes. Ikinyesha, Vua, Nini, the roads get degraded, they get made again. So it's recce. From Monday onwards, it's writing notes completely to what we want. With the addition of the new stages, I hear that also, there is some of the stages are going in reverse compared to last year. So everything changes. So it's basically, we look at it as a clean slate, as a new rally. So we can't really use the old notes or anything like that, because we don't know what the organizers have changed. The name of the stage can be the same, like Kasarani, right? They might be in reverse. Let's see. Let's see. But it's interesting to get to write the notes on new stages. Yeah, a lot of concentration.
What are your expectations in terms of? Because last year you guys finished 18th. There was an accident. You bounced back. Congratulations for bouncing back. Maybe this year.
To be quite honest, I don't have an expectation. For me, being in the top 15, right, would be fantastic. But yeah, we take it as it comes, and we push hard in the rally where we can, and sometimes we take risks depending, but calculated risks. Everything is calculated on what we decide to do. But yeah, it's anticipation. I don't know. It's very hard to say that yes, I want to be number 1. Realistically, I'd love to be in the top 15. Yeah.
You agree with him?
Yeah, I mean, ever since WRC has come, we've been gauging that top 15, top 20 finish, which we have achieved over the years. Obviously, this year I would like to be a bit higher up. But we'll see. It's a new car. We're still understanding how it runs. What it can actually do. During the WRC, we'll be using a fuel that we've never used, the P1 fuel. So I hear there's more power that the car has. So it's something to get used to. You know, we had a good run in Rwanda, which we were using avgas, the fuel that we can get locally. But this racing fuel that comes from abroad that we have to use, it's a mandatory thing for our car. It does give out more power, so it's something that we need to learn. You know, when we're coming around the corner, we need to control ourselves. So maybe it's just a learning curve again this year, and we just we try and maintain of what we've been doing for the previous years, and just give a good show for everybody. Yeah.
And speaking about your events that this year, the season has just started.
Yeah.
What about the Kenya National Rally Championship? What are some of the plans that you guys are having?
Yeah, I mean, the WRC is part of the KNRC calendar as well. So we've got the ARC as well, round 1, running alongside with the WRC. So I think as the WRC progresses and we see how we perform on this stage, we'll try and see what our options are.
Yeah.
If we move to the ARC calendar or we stick onto the Kenya calendar. Yeah, we just need to strategically see between the team what we feel that can achieve us the highest exposure, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I think we'll take it as it comes. After the WRC, we'll sit down with the team, sit down with our sponsors, KCB, have a game plan, and we take it forward from there.
Mm-hmm.
You are among the most celebrated rally drivers here in Kenya and even in Africa. What's this one thing that keeps motivating you? What's this one thing that even whatever happens, you just raise up again and keep going?
I guess it's, I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the need for speed. It's something that I feel that pushes me doing such a sport, an extreme sport in my condition. I feel that it motivates others. And I think that's what pushes me to go further. I don't see why someone who's able-bodied cannot do what I can do. And if they feel that, they can see me and they'll be like, oh, hey, if this guy can do it, why can't I? So it's just to motivate people. I think that's what gets me up in the morning.
Yes, a lion-hearted. Lion. What do you guys usually say? Lion-hearted?
Yeah. Roya Simba.
Yeah, right.
Roya Simba.
Feel the roar.
Feel the roar. Yes.
His personality.
Yeah.
You've been with him.
Yeah.
Through challenges.
Mm-hmm.
There's challenges that sometimes a normal person will say, wacha niachane nayo.
Yeah.
I'm done with rally driving.
Mm-hmm.
Done with anything to do with speed.
Mm-hmm. Speed is infectious. Nidudu. Once you love rallying or once you love speed and you love sitting in a rally car, it's a whole different thing. It's not fun. Sitting in the rally car, it's from the outside it looks great, but we sweat like crazy in that car. Hakuna AC, right? Ni vumbi inaingia. Inachukua power ya gari. Yeah? Okay. So kuna ka vent kadogo tu kule juu, and that's the only air you get. You have all the safety gear. It's really hot in that car, right? When you look at most of the rally drivers when they come out, they're finished. It's like a week recovery. Your body genuinely takes a beating inside that car. But we love the sport, right? And for Nikhil, I mean, for him, he never says no, right, to anything you tell him to do. So it's great. It's absolutely great, whether it's on the track or off the track, right? It's always, let's go do it. Oh, no problem.
Do you have some of the key memorable moments that you would say, this guy's a genius?
I wouldn't call him a genius, but no.
Maybe you can share with us.
We're actually just sitting there before we came on stage, and we remembered a picture of Tanzania that we were on, and it was like a 2.5 kilometer straight. This was a couple of years ago.
Just after COVID.
Just after COVID, yes. And it was a 2.5 kilometer straight. So Nikhil, full throttle. I think we got to like 189 or something like that kilometers an hour on rough road, and then I'm like, oh, it's a square right now. So for square right, you have to do this, right? So it was like, what the hell? Handbrake, kila kitu, just to make the Evo stop. And then I was like, He's like, why didn't you call it earlier? I said, I had a gut feeling that we would stop or turn in time. Because if we didn't, if we missed that turn, Nivio, we would be finished somewhere in the bush, or I don't know. But I had that gut feeling that, confidence in him that he'll make that car stop or turn, do whatever it takes. So yeah, it was, crazy, crazy moments like that.
That's Patel's moment.
Yeah.
Maybe you have some of the key moments.
Oh, this one, yeah.
I guess it would be this might be one of them.
Yeah.
This was in the 2022 Safari Rally in the Hell's Gate stage.
Oh, yeah.
And we came in very hot, and we had called it a 3 left, but so 3 left is like a medium corner, but it was actually more of a square, which is like a 90-degree corner. So we came in really hot, and we hit the bank. So that's why the car is actually on 2 wheels, if you see here. And the flying finish is just there. So time actually slowed down.
Yeah.
By the time you're up there, I looked at Deep. I could, it's like the Flash. I could see everything. I could see what was going on. And then the car landed. We crossed the flying finish. And then Deep goes, I need some Panadol. And that was that was the funniest. Well, one of the craziest moments we had. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys have been in this stage for more than a decade. What would you say? What would you talk about the Kenyan setup of the motorsport, Kenyan setup of the rally?
I mean, the stages are absolutely beautiful, right? The scenery around Kenya is breathtaking, right? Hell's Gate, you look at Hell's Gate, you look at Oserian, Kidong, right? Kasarani, it's absolutely beautiful. And for the tourists that come here, right, it's genuinely breathtaking. Especially when you finish the rally and you're inside Hell's Gate and you see what's around you. We're a small piece in the whole puzzle as us as drivers or as humans, right? Kenya, the rallying in Kenya is so unpredictable. It could be sunny, rain on one side, sunny on the other. We don't know. Like, it's absolutely unpredictable. And that's, I think, what gets the drivers or the participants like thinking, edgy, stressed, focused. It's very emotional inside the stages because you don't know what to expect. So yeah.
Okay, Nikhil, kuna what would I say about them? There's a lot that is lined up for you in future, but then again, we have to look at the future of the Kenyan motorsport. How do you see it?
I mean, look,
and what should we do to make a step that many people say, we are a bit behind?
Well, we're not behind at all. There are a lot of young drivers upcoming. If you follow the autocross, obviously last year there was a lot of issues with the local championship, but with the autocross scene, there was a lot happening. The rallycross that happens. There's a lot of young potential drivers that I watch, and I'm like, wow, this guy, he's going to be one of the champions very soon. And it's more of just, I think, organization and cleaning house and just seeing how things progress from there. We have a very, very rich history in rallying, in motorsports, and it would be a shame for anything to disappear. But there's a lot of people behind the scenes. They're working endlessly to make sure that doesn't happen. And where us as stakeholders in this sport, we don't want it to go anywhere. We invest so much in these rally cars. We have got such brand sponsors, KCB's behind us. It'll be a shame for anything bad to happen. So it's more of just cleaning house, and we see how things go. It used to be great a few years ago. I think it's just people just need to step up the game, organize, and because we have a lot of potential here. Yeah, leave us out of it. There's a lot of youngsters that they're ready to shine.
You agree with him in terms of the future? Yeah,
absolutely. Like Nikhil mentioned, there's lots of upcoming rally drivers, right? It's I would say the politics of the siyasa, right, within the federations, etc. That it's hard to hear, but it's a question of how to manage right? And who should be the stakeholders and who should be responsible for certain things, right? And I think once that's cleaned up, then the big brands, right, would be back, in my opinion, right? Yeah, so it's a very difficult subject to discuss, but yeah, I genuinely believe that there are people out there that have the best interest of motorsport, not of individual, of motorsport in general, at heart as well. So yeah.
And Nikhil, because of time, we need to wrap up. But then, before we wrap up, I need you to tell me this. I know you have future prospects, future plans, and there's always that moment that someone usually say, I want to take part in this event. This is what I'm aiming at, or rather, this is my goal. I want to be part of this event in the world. Maybe do you have a specific event that you want to take part in, and why?
Yeah, I've always dreamt of doing the Dakar. That's something I've always watched since I've been young, let alone the safari. It's always been something I've watched. A lot of the inspiration for me to get back into rallying after my accident was watching another paraplegic driver take part in the Paris-Dakar. So I guess there's a lot of gears that need to turn for me to get to that point. But yeah, it's a dream that I have. If God will it, we'll do it. Yeah.
Unataka kuwa driver.
He doesn't have a choice.
Oh, I don't have a choice.
He doesn't have a choice.
Ni kama ile tire indicator inafanya hivi tu. Right? I'm just an indicator light.
Like maybe you have a different.
No, I mean, actually when Paris-Dakar happened in January, or the Dakar happened in January, we were watching it and we're like, holy crap, it's actually really nice to see, because you get trucks, cars, motorcycles, all these different motorsport or adrenaline things in Saudi Arabia, right? That everyone meets in the desert and you race. So yeah, if it works out for us, it works out for us. I mean, let's see. I no problem. It's a plane ticket and we go and we race, right? So
yeah, but we'll see what the future holds.
What the future holds, exactly.
All right, your parting shot regarding KCB coming through, regarding the WRC Safari Rally 2025, and also the Kenya National Rally Championship. Your parting shots.
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank KCB for giving their support to us for the past 4 years, for this year. Without them, I don't think we'll be able to rally. As I've said this many times, without them, I don't think we would be participating in the WRC. It's an expensive sport.
Yep.
And they understand that. They've backed us, and we really appreciate that. And then obviously to the fans, I hope to see you all in Naivasha on the 20th, right? Yeah, yep. 20th. We start in Kasarani, and then we head to Naivasha. So I hope to see everybody there. Revision at KCB, feel the raw.
Patel, tufungie ba. Tufungie.
For me, it's it's to the fans. Come out to the KCB hospitality tents, open up those KCB accounts, right? And yeah, kuja tutakaribisha nyinyi. We hope to see you guys there. And whenever you see us, get your branded merchandise of KCB. And yeah, like Nikhil said, it's thank you to KCB and Revision, I feel the roar.
All right, thank you guys for coming up. Coming over. Thank you for sharing with us what you guys have for this year in terms of the WRC and even your future plans. We were talking matters at WRC Safari Rally preparation and what Nikhil Sachanya has, and also the co-driver Deep Patel have. But before we take a break, I'm going to leave you with this story, because let's switch to Magical Kenya Open preparation, because organized